Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. It is I, Piggy, joined by Ash, which is say hello, Ash.
Hello.
Yeah, he's here. He's here, and you may notice something a bit different. I actually have lighting. Let's go. Look at me. I'm glittering like Edward from Twilight. Gotta make a Twilight reference when I can. But yeah, these are the biggest.
Other glittery vampires are available.
Go on.
No, man, I don't know any. I'll be honest.
Well, Edward's entire family's available.
All the other vampires in Twilight,
yeah. Yeah. Which side note, I'll finish my intro in a second. But side note,
or like Johnny in the beach pictures.
Oh,
he's glistening. He's glistening.
But like,
easiest day of his life. Right, Johnny, wear this beach gear. Yep, sound. There's a picture. Good job, Johnny.
Yeah, and it's episode 136. Can you believe it? Today's episodes are going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 32 of 2025. All the episodes from the 5th of the 8th all the way to the 7th of the 8th. First, we have introduction.
You know what's a wild statistic? That means there's only 20 weeks left.
Yeah.
Make it stop. It's all going too fast.
Okay, it's all going too fast. You are indeed correct. So we have introduction. Should be simple. That's what we're doing right now. We have Elaine and Cindy's partnership, and then we have Oscar does nothing wrong. Patrick gets attacked. We don't know who attacks Patrick, but it wasn't Oscar. I swear on me grand life. And then we have Joel is a bad man because I couldn't do my original title, which was Joel is a POS, which is a piece of shit. So yeah, Joel is a bad man. Any comment on this?
It's an interesting one. I've been very intrigued by the Joel stuff. Don't really know how to feel about it, but it is pretty interesting to see. It just kind of happens to be off the back of the Suki and Eve Avani pregnancy stuff, which also drew a lot of ire. So, anything even remotely with a social issue, people are a little bit sensitive about right now. So,
yeah.
Us included.
Yeah, I don't really, abortion is bad. I don't really want to talk about it, just. Also, I don't really have them listed here. I should really have them listed, but
they don't do too much, do they? I don't remember. It's been a long week.
I'll briefly mention them when I talk about Elaine and Cindy's partnership. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll just put it as a side topic. I'll just put a little slash there for you.
What I've learned is it's been a really long week. I think it's only been a week since I rolled my ankle. I think last week it was me grumpy in the chair.
Yeah, last week you were grumpy in the chair with your leg high up. Yeah.
Leg still high up, still hurting.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate truth that once you turn, Jesus, I keep making my camera bouncy. But once you turn 24, 25, yeah, Jesus, your bones start to creak. And then the minute you hit 30, your bones are bloody porridge. But weak porridge, like shit. But yeah, so yeah.
Eloquently
put, yeah, I know. Been saying a lot about shit lately. I swear I don't have a shit king, alright? But I guess I'll get into it. I'll keep the camera on as while I make the timestamp very quickly. So it's 4:24. Let's go. Let's do that. So yeah, I'll quickly run through Avani first, just to get it out of the way. Hold on, wouldn't be a Piggy podcast without me burping.
I don't think there'll be a 10-minute. I don't think there'll be a 30-minute tangent about why what is happening is wrong, because it starts with a lot of skepticism from Eve, which is kind of that's the audience's voice in this whole thing.
Yeah. And if you don't know, I'm having a blue raspberry Sprite. Let's go. It's a slushy melted. So really all Avani does, she goes to hospital to get her CAT scan done. No,
I think it's what, a 12-week scan?
12-week scan, yeah. I had to do one of these scans before,
Like the an ultrasound.
An ultrasound, yeah. The jelly they rub on you is it's so slippery and slimy. But also, I felt weird because they always had to put tissue down my pants, like between my belly and my like groin. So I was like,
Now, obviously, just in case you weren't pregnant, just to make sure.
I will get to that in a second. But I always felt weird because like they put your hands down, but if you're not going near your like sergeant and lieutenant, like they're just putting the tissue down. I was like, please, get away, please. Yeah, I was not pregnant. I was just fat, and they had to.
Like, weren't you having some like stomach troubles at the time?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess I'll talk about this very quickly. So yeah, I had stomach problems from when I was about 12, 13 till about 18. About 16, 17. And I took sachets, which if you don't know, sachets kind of make you basically put in water. It's like swimming pool water, and you get to drink it and then you go to the bathroom. But when I went to get
it clears you out.
when I say, are you back?
We'll call it an exorcism. Oh, it's frozen.
Oh, I heard exorcism. Yeah.
That's all you needed to know.
It is like the doors opening to like the pearly gates of heaven. But I had stomach problems for years. So I went up there, got my CAT scan, and then I got my results, and they just went, "Yeah, you're just very gassy." Oh,
It does make sense.
Yeah, I do drink a lot of Sprite and Coke, so yeah, it does kind of make sense when you get older. Do drink diluted now as well. That is nice. But yeah, kind of.
I tend to not drink fizzy drinks if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weirdos who just drinks water and tea and coffee, but mostly tea because coffee gives me heartburn. We're just aging gracefully, aren't we? Just aging really gracefully.
The problem I had was coffee would also make my stomach hurt. But
Yeah.
so I couldn't drink it, but I can drink mochas. So that's my go-to is a mocha. Which I know is still coffee, but
yeah, it's mostly just chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, with a slight hint of coffee, but yeah, I get a mocha.
You going for the sweeter option? Never happens. Never happens.
So yeah, I did. Yeah, my go-to is a mocha with 2 white sugars. There you go. Just
it's really sweet enough.
Yeah, I know it's already sweet enough, and that's just talking about me. But yeah, what is your go-to coffee order before we get back to this?
I mean, if I'm like out getting coffee, I'll likely get something fancier. But it's also if I'm getting coffee, I'm never really getting. If I'm actually out at a coffee place, I'm getting some fancy shit. Because why would I not? You're at a fancy coffee place, like. But I'm never really there, so. And the closest I'll get is look where the spoons. It isn't great food. It isn't great at anything, but it is convenient and it's cheap. And you can get the one like you can get a refillable coffee cup for like £1. And fuck me, is it delicious? So I'll go there. I'll start off with a hot chocolate. You know, get it all out. You can't have more than one of those; they will absolutely ruin you. And then you just kind of you fart around. Do you go for a latte? Do you go for a fucking cappuccino? Just start frothing them about.
Yeah. Yeah, that is our coffee order. I'm gonna make sure Fortnite's not updated. That is our coffee order, and it's not. That is good. You want more of what we ordered? Let us know down below. But yeah, Avani basically goes for ultrasound or 12-gig scan. And also, side note before I continue, did you ever have an ultrasound?
No.
Okay.
Never been in the situation to need one.
Fair enough.
Don't
yeah. He secretly had one when he was 5. He doesn't know about it.
Well, it's just from, and this is from Grey's Anatomy. From what I do in Grey's Anatomy, ultrasounds are actually just quite common to just figure out what's going on internally. So
yeah,
well, most people would just imagine it's like generic, like, you're pregnant. No, just trying to see what's going on in there.
I mean, it just shows the inside of your belly, really. That's all.
Yeah.
See, usually people
Although imagine going in for a normal ultrasound and then it turns out it's baby again. It's like, huh? What? Where'd that come from?
Yeah. I always had that fear that I would be secretly pregnant, but then I realised, how could I be pregnant? How could I?
You never know. Could be a one in a very, very little chance.
Yeah, there is a very secret chance that I could be pregnant still. About 6 years, nearly 9 years on. Yeah. But continuing on, Avani does get her traffic scan, and then she goes back to home, as the right detective would say, and she basically sits down with Eve and Suki, and they're all like, "Yeah, we're gonna love this baby. We're gonna love this baby."
Eve is very standoffish at all points because Eve's kind of like still don't really agree how we got here, and even though this happened, I'm still not happy with it. And Eve is still telling Suki, like, you are doing this because you feel like you messed up with the other kids. And she finally gets her to be like, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. And so then once Eve and Avani are alone, she also goes, hey, you don't have to do this just because Suki wants you to. You know that, right? You know you definitely have a choice in this. Just nod if you agree. But through the scan, Eve kind of starts to enjoy the idea a little bit. And from there, they kind of settle into this. But she is just quite, just quite standoffish, just quite, she reiterates that you don't have to do this.
Yeah, and we find out next week that maybe she doesn't go through with it. Who knows? But now on to the
right
better.
choice.
Now on to better and more civilized conversations.
Oh yeah, and essentially by the end though, Eve finally gets Suki to admit, yeah, we should probably tell Ravi and Priya.
Yeah. But now moving on to Cindy and Elaine. Or Elaine. But what happens? How do we get here? Well, Elaine is looking for work. She can't really find it. After leaving the fix, she doesn't like that you have to write up all these things online. Like CVs, this. What's your hobbies, this. What school did you go
to? I can't imagine Elaine doing anything else other than bar work. Like, it's absolutely crazy how... Like, imagine Elaine's just, like, working on the tills at, like, your local Tesco. You're right, love. Do you want bags of 5p? But if you do want a bag for life, you could have one on me. Some shit, some bollocks like that.
I think
imagine her trying to make a show of being like a cashier.
I think she'd be great in darts because she has that voice for darts, if that makes sense. 180! Go on, love.
I mean, obviously, the obvious angle is she would be good at panto, but nobody really goes to pantomime in soap. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe people think it's a bit on the nose, but yeah, it's a cool thing. She and the Yolande talk about like, I'm just not built for this current world. Maybe I'm useless. I've been like a landlady for my whole life. Like, what am I supposed to do with all these like online interviews? I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And it kind of, she's just kind of like sulking around, just working about, and she finds that after the events, Freddie is a little bit disheveled working at the Albert, and so he quits due to something that happened, and he's feeling a bit upset. And then Elaine and Cindy kind of reach a weird understanding where it's like, yeah, I need help. And Elaine's like, I'll do it for triple and a bottle of like, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I'll do it for triple and a bottle of like, I don't know, like Irish cream, whatever Elaine drinks. It's just imagine it's Bailey's. She probably drinks Bailey's, let's be honest. She agrees. So they get behind the bar together. And it's everything I wanted because Why am I leading this segment? Well, because I bloody said this was a thing they should do immediately after we thought Elaine was going to move out the Vic. It's the right choice. Cindy and Elaine in this segment have such a good kind of fuck you, but we're getting through it mentality. They don't like each other, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine because they need each other. And it's so good. It's so unbelievably perfect. They're both making sly digs at each other back and forth. They've always got the one-liners. It's a match made in heaven. I adore this. I was right. It was the right decision to put Cindy and Elaine together. And just more of this. Just 100 times more of this. I want an Elaine and Cindy scene every day. I want at least 3. Just do it all. Just do it all. I love them. Can we keep them? Because Cindy needs mates. Because her family don't fucking like her. So she needs a friend who will support her. And even though and I don't think they'll never drop just being hostile towards each other. But it'll go from actually disliking each other to just kind of being just how they are. Now, I've seen people compare it to Pat and Peggy. Probably, some people would get offended at that statement. That is how they act. It's almost the template for Pat and Peggy. Except the only person in between. George Knight is not Frank Butcher, Cindy's Frank Butcher.
I would compare it to Peggy, or not Peggy, Pat and Big Mo. Obviously, without
that's a good comparison as well.
Obviously, without them having a lesbian affair in 1978, as Big Mo said. I know people. I know people are going to come for us going for that. Well, the one night stand was never confirmed that it was Pat. Let's admit it probably was Pat.
It was.
Yeah, they'll never address it, but it probably was. But yeah, I kept the camera on you. I love this friendship, and I should just say 17 minutes in. If Ash's microphone goes a bit robotic, it's probably the setting he currently has on it. It's not my internet. My internet would just slow his camera down and make his voice go robotic, but it's not my internet making his voice go robotic.
Yeah, I got some issues with it. It should be fixed.
It should be fixed next week. I should have said that at the start, but you're 17 minutes in, aren't you? So.
Look, I'm just being possessed by the devil.
Yeah, got the Bagga Wagga demon. Or is it Bow?
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, it's Murph the cat. He always says Bagga Wagga. So yeah. I'll send you a video of Murph. So yeah, I enjoy Cindy and Elaine's relationship. It's a lovely friendship they have going on. It is like the modern day Pat and Big Mo, where they absolutely despise each other, but things were there, Just kind of.
Well, you just get the kind of bitey kind of they've been through enough together that they're glad they're not dead. And that's all you need. That's all you need for the template for that relationship. I would be slightly miffed if you died. But other than that, fuck you. Oh, it's great. It's so good. Those relationships inspire the most kind of fun dynamics where it is fuck you. And then maybe once you have a little tender moment. It's you know what? I can't do this right now. I need a moment. And then you go oh, yeah, fine. And then about 5 seconds later, you're you just quip again. It's perfect. I think this establishes the future for Elaine to still be here. And I think in this role, Elaine can stay for fucking years to come.
Yeah. But
I think it'll make the Albert actually be a fucking pub, a bar worth having. Because up till this point, pretty much ever since it was introduced, it has been an afterthought. But now it actually has a different. Well, it was always supposed to have a different it's a gay bar. It's always supposed to have a different appeal to the Vic. But now it actually has a drawn attraction that we will likely see it keep happening because they still want Elaine and Cindy to be big parts of the show. So.
Yeah, and now we're moving swiftly on, if you do not mind, Mr. Ash, to our second topic. Why can I not put my cursor on the bloody thing. I don't know. It is time for Patrick gets attacked slash hashtag slash Oscar did nothing wrong. How about that? So where do we begin? Well, Fat Mike, who's very skinny now, so skinny Fat Mike, is still looking.
Fat Mike on his Ozempic.
Sorry.
I don't know why it gets you every time. I don't know why.
Sorry, no, it's imagining because I don't. It's not because he's on it. It's not because of that. It's because I imagine a drill rapper or just a rapper from the UK being, yeah, it's Fat Mike on Ozempic here, lads. He's a maniac, maniac. Like he sounds like someone who would rap about like being on Ozempic. Does that make sense? Or like about weed or something, like something a council estate person or a very trashy person would listen to. That's why it always gets me because I'm imagining he's a fucking like rapper. We have Fat Mike on Ozempic. Threatens Oscar, and then Lauren basically goes, "All right, Jay. How about if I sell a car, you give me $6,000?" And Jay's like, "Deal."
I thought you were on maternity leave.
Which I loved.
That's what he basically says. Like, oh, what? Yeah, sure. I guess why not?
I guess you could say you were on maternity leave. I was on suspension. Sorry about that, lad. If I can say that joke. Yeah, because he was. If you don't know, Jay Bork was kind of on suspension for saying a naughty word, and the BBC did not like that. But yeah, so she tries to sell a car. She fails miserably, and she continues, but she eventually does sell a car, and Jay gets the money. Now, side note: Patrick has been gambling. And basically, Howie is addicting him even more, I would say, because he's
enabling him.
Because he goes, yeah, come on, Patrick, go on, stick some money on this horse. I'll do it for you. Stick some money on this bloody horse. And Patrick's like,
it's also it is because Howie's pretty much been made to feel less than, because Kim's like, oh, I do miss Vincent. I do miss Vincent. I miss the flush life. I miss all the holidays. I miss everything. And Howie's just kind of there like, yeah, great. So he hears it all. So he's feeling a bit inferior. And for some reason, Kim has just started treating him like absolute garbage. Like, despite Kim being like committing to Howie and being like, I think we should get in this like last couple of days, Kim's just become a massive cow over Howie and over like how she's treating him. Which makes obviously him feel pretty insecure because he's an honest worker, he's got an honest job, and he's trying his best to actually like have all the money to function, but ultimately he is kind of dependent on just his jobs. He doesn't have any other like dirty deeds going on. He's just got his job. The best he's got is more overtime. And why they need money? Well, Dental, Amy, and Nugget are all talking about how they want to go to this festival. Wait, I don't know. For most people, it feels like kind of a rite of passage. As you go from like teen to adult, you go to a festival and then you either love it and you do more, or you hate it and you never go again. I enjoyed it quite a lot. My mate who I went with, though, absolutely despised it and spent most of his time driving around Cornwall. So, you get two different camps. But Howie now feels a big pressure to actually get the money for this festival because they are pretty expensive. Like, I think I went to Boardmasters in Cornwall. It was like 200 quid. It's fucking wild.
Yeah,
It was a decent festival.
Festivals are expensive. Yeah, I agree with you. I worked at a festival until I quit. That was fun. I ended up watching SummerSlam in a bloody hospital, waiting for a doctor, and all that would play on the TV was WWE Raw on Channel 3 every Saturday at 11 a.m. for 6 hours. And you're sat there, and I'm trying to watch SummerSlam, which is also a WWE program. But that ad keeps playing, and you're sat there like, please, kill me now.
Make it stop.
Because, like, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But it's just, there's nothing wrong with repetitiveness until you're actually there and you're sat in a room. Not in a room, but you're
And there's
sat.
nothing else you can really do.
Yeah, you're like sat in a hospital general, like an emergency area, and then all you hear for 6 hours is, "We're bringing the action. We're bringing the boom. We're bringing the excitement to you. WWE Raw on Channel 3, 11 a.m. every Saturday at 11 a.m. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Every Saturday." Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Stop it. My favorite bit about like the festival, not the festival, but about like the aftermath where I ended up in hospital. They could not assign me a mental health doctor until he came, until like he showed up, but he didn't show up till like 3 p.m. So I was sat in there from like 12 a.m. to like 3 p.m. in the emergency area, and it was horrible. It was bloody horrible. That was 2022. I just left school and everything. Ah, God. Don't miss those times. Thankfully, I started watching Walford and I somehow got a good mental health check. But anyways, continuing on. Continuing on. So he gambled to solve Patrick because Yolande told him to stop.
I had no idea how he got there, but we're back. Yeah.
I just had a midlife crisis thing about the festival I worked at. Sorry.
Yeah, it's an existential just dread.
Got 500.
What does it all mean, Jeff? What does it all mean?
I think I got like 300 quid from it though. I got paid for the Saturday night even though I went AWOL because I had a mental breakdown. So, you know.
I mean, they clearly weren't keeping track where you went, so.
No. I snuck out back and I lost my jacket and my Krispy Kreme hat. And I was so disappointed. My tent, I don't even know where my tent is anymore. I lost it. But yeah, I left it at the festival. Yeah. So how he basically enables like Patrick to keep gambling, and he does. He sticks it on a horse, and the horse wins, and he gets 6k.
6 grand.
6 bloody grand. Fucking hell.
I think it was last time I was kind of wondering why people bet on horses. That's why people bet on horses. Because the odds are a little bit insane. And you can go from making fuck all to making like a lot. And this is also Patrick kind of under the cosh because he wants to try and pay for Yolande's dream wedding, but obviously he's retired. So I think the last big thing he spent money on was the salon, but they don't really talk about Patrick having money at this point.
Yeah, and he basically wins 6k. And how he goes to get it, Oscar overhears this. So Oscar, totally not Oscar, someone else, basically realizes, I know to get Oscar's money for them. And basically goes into the house to rub the 6k. Must be like 7 p.m. or something. Because the lights are kind of dim, but it's not really there. Patrick comes out of the bedroom after having a pot noodle. And basically, this guy startles Patrick startles this guy, and Patrick tries to wrestle this guy, which this guy just punches Patrick in the face, rings the ambulance, and then how he shows up and how he answers responds to the emergency team, and then Oscar suddenly just shows back up at Lauren Branning's house, and it's like, I got 6k, some just random geezer give it to me, and then Lauren's like, oh wow,
I already paid off that mic.
Yeah, I already paid off that mic, and Oscar's like, Jeff, yeah, you shouldn't have hit Patrick, Jeff. What do you mean it's my fault? Fuck. So basically this guy gets Oscar in trouble because they think Oscar did it, but he didn't do it. He's gonna write a book saying if he did do it, he's gonna write a book saying he didn't do it. Alright? And how, if you don't know, I'm making the joke here that he didn't do it. We all know he did do it, but I'm defending Oscar. Like how when it was the the Ruby Allen special, and Ash would defend Ruby over everything. It was everyone else's fault, not Ruby's.
I'm just fiercely loyal to the things I like.
Yeah.
That's why there was I think the video's out already, but there's that 30-minute video of us talking about people being a real doomer about EastEnders, and I basically go, no, but here's all the reasons why you're wrong. It's like me just fighting an army by myself.
Yeah.
I just bloody like EastEnders.
Um.
I'm also a contrarian, so it kind of balances it out. You know what I mean?
So basically, Oscar wants to go to the police saying his mate did it, but Lauren covers for Oscar and his mate, and
Well, I say that Oscar doesn't really want to go to the police, but he still wants to. He's still terrified of going. He's still terrified of being like taken in. So Lauren kind of sits with him, and Lauren kind of temperature checks him by essentially saying, "Look, what was it like? What was it like after Abby?" And then he also goes through how, after Abby died, Tanya just cried for months, and like he didn't really know what to do, and that's when he started kind of going off the rails, and that's where he realized he didn't really have much. All he had was just having a laugh, which ultimately, unless you're a fucking comedian, you can't really cash those checks, can you? It's all you got, you know. So he kind of struggled, and that's why he started like acting out with his mates, and then it kind of went on from there. And we even get a nice scene where he's kind of talking to baby Jimmy, like, just don't become like me, become better than me. Like I want to. He's basically been ready to just leave, but Lauren stops him and essentially says, "Hey, you know what? We'll cover for you." Like, and so Lauren kind of sits him down and says, "Look, here's what happened. Here's what we're gonna do." And the only real foil to the plan, because they sit through the police and the police come asking, like, "Oh, do you have any information about this?" Like, "Oh, no. He was with me." So he gets a watertight alibi. And the only thing that even slightly comes close to crashing it down is Howie hearing, like, understanding, realizing that he saw an ankle brace, knows that he's seen Oscar. So he goes to the Brannings and is like, "Hey, I want my fucking money." And I like this. Some people have been saying personality transplant, that Howie would have like a lick of a dark side. I don't think it's a personality transplant. I think it's a simple case of a situation's led him here. He wants to pay for his kid's fucking festival. And he's had Kim in his ear telling him that he's not a real man and he can't actually make enough money and he can't support his family. So now he, wanting to support said family and not be viewed as a fucking coward and basically a shitter, he goes, "You know what? Fine. I want the £6 for myself. I want to treat her to all the fancy dinners. I want to do all the things that she had before but doesn't have now." So he kind of goes, "I want my money." And Lauren goes, "What money?" And Howie's like, "Yeah, fair enough." And he leaves. And you made it seem like he did something really diabolical because Piggy was talking to me whilst watching it. She's like, "Oh, and then he woke up Big Jim," and I'm like, "Is that fucking code for something? What does that even fucking mean?" Woke up Big Jim. What the fuck does that even mean? Then what it actually means is that he just slammed the door and woke up baby Jimmy.
Yeah,
And I was like, why is that a big deal?
well, all right. Go put it in perspective. You have a newborn, right? You finally put them to sleep. Someone slams the door shut. You're gonna be so pissed that they woke them up. That's why he went too far. He went too far. Woke up Big Jim. He woke. Yeah, because I call him Big Jim.
He's also not that big.
Small Jim.
I was just like, it couldn't be Piggy trying to angle an inside joke in there that doesn't really fit, but he's gonna say it anyways because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Couldn't be you.
Couldn't be me. Big up Big Jim, though. Big up Big Jim.
Nothing stretches more than Piggy's angles to get a joke in there. Ugh. Well, this could be funny. What if I mention my favorite assassination of all time? So, what?
Well, I had to rank them, right? JFK number 1. Piggy, stop. I am going to stop. Trump. So I'll continue where we left off. What was I saying? Yeah,
Harry with the dark side.
Yeah, Howie with a dark side. So he wakes up Big Jim, little Jimmy upstairs, and then he basically tries throughout the next day find a way to catch Oscar out, or the guy who framed Oscar, and then who framed Oscar Branning, and then Lauren's like, "Well, burn your clothes, Oscar. It'll be fine. They won't come for you." And then Howie and I know they don't do gross out humor, but when Howie looked through the bin, right? When Howie looked through the bin, I wanted him to pick out the first bag. He opens it. It's just Big Jim's nappies. It's just Big Jim's naps. Like, you know? But obviously he opens the bin, he finds the clothes, goes in, and then I think they just give him the money. I think that's what they do. They just give him the money.
Yeah, honestly, I've lost it. I don't know. I don't remember. I can have a look. I can have a quick scroll through. But I think don't they relatively keep it stum?
I think they give it to him to an extent. Yeah, most of it at least.
Go on, where is it? I'm seeing it. I'm seeing him, and this lovely little what's his name, like bomber jacket?
Bomber
Is that a thing?
jacket. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah. So that's pretty much the week of that. As Ash does some detective work for us.
Oh yeah. They give him the money. They give him the money.
Yeah. Thank you, Ash, for like being the man on the sidelines.
On-site analysis.
Yeah. If giving him the money.
Well, Jeff, it appears there's been a red card. That's there, Jeff. What do you mean? You're on the side watching? I don't know, Jeff. Didn't see anything.
It's that clip of the fucking it can't go
Chris
on.
Kamara is a legend. He's a legend.
It's that clip and the two clips of the manager being like, "It can't go on, can it?" It can.
It can. Yeah, I don't remember his name, the football manager.
Yeah, and then and then the fucking other one of him, but like, "Can you tell us what happened to the pause when it broke down?" It broke down. Bus broke down?
Go on, what's his name? Mick McCarthy. It can't go on like this. It can.
What happened to the bus? Bus broke down?
It's just because he's a northerner as well. It can't go on like this, can it? It can.
I would put it off, but I'll probably...
Go on, where's the bus? Where's the bus breakdown? Go on. What happened to the game before the bus? Broke down. Expand on breaking down. Broke down. Oh no, he says wouldn't go any further. Beautiful.
That's what.
Know nothing about him, but he's got a bunch of good. He's got some good lines.
Yeah, I'd love to see him, and I just he's freaking fantastic. But yeah,
But yeah, but how he now books Denzel's tickets and he can afford it, and now he's living it large.
Yeah, he's living it large.
Which I like it.
Will he be a bad?
Sometimes a nice. I'm gonna say nice guy. Sometimes not a criminal. Sometimes you can do some unhanded things and get results. He's getting to live the high life.
Will it go on?
But obviously, it's Howie, and he's not really a smart geezer, so he's gonna mess it up and get framed. Maybe it'll play into how Kim leaves because she's filming The Traitors, like Celeb Edition. So,
will it go
Kim's
on?
got to depart at some point.
Will it go on like this, Ash?
It will. It can.
It can. What's going on outside my door? I don't know what's going on outside my door. I don't want to seal my door up. Now, the last topic. Brace yourselves, folks. Brace yourselves. We've got to talk about this. In a perfect world,
with how weird this podcast has been, I don't even remember what this topic is. I don't even remember.
this is Joel is a bad man, aka a piece of shit.
Oh, all right, yeah, sound.
This might be an hour long or whatever because we will be talking about some political people here, Mr. Taint, and so just brace yourselves. So, fuck, how does it start? Bollocks. Forgot how it starts the week. Basically.
Well, it's from what it says is that Vicky wants Ross to kind of take Joel to work with him and kind of show him what like a hard day's graft is and go from there. But Joel takes Tommy and they spend the time like kind of catcalling and checking out women, essentially. They spend the shift basically objectifying women, which is a horrific thing. It does happen it probably doesn't happen on building sites as much anymore, but it's kind of characterized as on a building site. It's not exactly the most high paid labor. In these instances, a lot of people can just be pretty like they will objectify women, and it's not necessarily part of the culture, but it's not necessarily not like it shouldn't be, but it is. And even if they're trying to crack down on it, there will be parts that it will be a part of the culture. So this kind of sets the chain, it sets it going, and it's kind of the ticking time bomb where he's seen kind of showing some of his beliefs again, his attitudes towards women. And I don't exactly remember, but I think how it kicks off is he goes to.
I can mention this. I know what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So he basically goes to Queen Vic to hang out with Tommy. We also find out that I think Joel's mom is getting remarried, I believe.
Yeah, he's getting remarried, and the name's Vera, seemingly.
So it's not Zoe. We've avoided one, folks. But
it still could be.
It still could be. So he's getting married.
I mean, to be fair, it could exactly be. She could be remarrying. She could be remarrying Anthony.
Yeah.
Probably not. Let's be honest.
Probably not. Yeah. But yeah. So Joel goes over there to Tommy. He has a sad pity cry where he's like, "I don't know, man. I don't know. Just things don't work out for blokes like us." And then Tommy's like, "All right." And then Joel's like, "Want to have a bit of fun?" Yeah. We're not gay, obviously. We're not gay, but you want to have a bit of fun? And Tommy's like, "Yeah, go on." But of course we're not gay. So they go downstairs to take some beers, and then Ross comes. I believe his name's fucking Ross. I've been calling him Ross the entire time.
Yeah, it's Ross.
He comes over, and he's like, "Have you seen Joel?" And then Alfie's like, "Yeah, he's upstairs. We'll look up and get him." And then it cuts to like pantomime style, Tommy and Joel just holding a bottle of beer as one of them drop a bottle, and then Alfie's like, "All right," and then Ross like, I'll pay for it, don't worry. And then he basically he goes, "All right, cat, you slag," like just calls it a slag or a slapper.
Just uses objectifying language. I mean, we're gonna use it in the context that Joel uses it to kind of actually depict the actual story about it. But obviously, if we're saying these things, it's not what we believe, or that kind of extra rigmarole to
Rickroll.
We're talking about stuff that happened, and it would be dishonest of us to not tell the whole story of it. So
we're telling the truth.
Disclaimer.
We're telling the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But yeah, he basically calls Kat a slag.
He calls her a slag.
I believe he calls her a slag, and then he says, he just says to Stacey, "Shut up, Batwoman," or something like that.
Well, okay, so basically, he starts crashing out. Joel starts crashing out because they obviously yell at him. It's like, "Oh, you're leading Tommy astray." So he then calls Kat a slag, and then Vicky's there, and she's like, trying to get him to go. He says, "Get your hands off me, you melt," which, basically it's the melt is it's a surrogate for the C word in my eyes. It's It's the one you say if you can't really say the C word, you just use the word melt instead.
Then he
And then he kind of gets more agitated. Then he still keeps crashing out as he leaves the Vic, and he says to Stacey, "Oh, aren't you just going to keep on buttering some more baps or something?" Thinly veiled like euphemism. Who yells at him, and then just keeps so. And Ross just basically throws him out. It's like, all right, come on. So basically, someone's had enough. Someone's had enough. He's
and-
yelling at everyone.
and then basically they go back to the house, and then Vicky went, "You fucking deal with this, Ross." And Ross goes, I will deal with it. So he sits down with.
I'll deal with it.
It's just reminded me of with the butter on the fridge with me and you. Who got butter on the fucking fridge? I did. Did you deal with it? Yeah, I will. Just like. So he sits Tommy down. I was gonna say Tommy. He sits Joel down, right? I know I'm just gonna do it in the way that I perceived it, where Joel is speaking this nonsense to his dad, going, men like us were bred from it. Right, I'm gonna quote Tyson Fury. Well, it's a Tyson Fury quote. I don't know the full quote, but I'll just quote how I remember it.
Jesus.
Where he says, "Men like us, we're built from a different cloth. We come from a different cloth. We're not built like other men. We come from a different cloth. We come from a different cloth. They don't make men like us anymore. So why can't I call her a slag? But she can call me whatever I like. It's not on. It's not on." See,
Obviously, when Tyson Fury said it, he's alluding to his background and
yeah.
It's spouting the misogynistic beliefs that Joel has, and it's the weird line, right, where you have a certain. Now, once again, this is veering towards a social issue. You have a certain demographic of men who believe let's put it in the way, a certain demographic of typically straight white men who have something of a persecution complex. Because as times are changing, you can't say things anymore. You can't say the woke things, or you can't say something because the wokies will get mad at you. And this will probably be towards, and in Joel's case, it's about his attitudes towards women. Joel is listening to a bunch of stuff suggesting that essentially a woman is a nice little handbag to have around your shoulder and use for whatever deeds you want. Just don't treat them like a person. Treat them like a prize. That's what they are, but not a prize and one you want, a prize and one to use. Like, it's all this, just the blatant misogyny and the sexism of essentially Joel's. And it's kind of interesting in the way they do it, because Ross tries to see it from Joel's eyes. He tries to sit down and actually kind of understand his psyche as to what, because Joel's going to say in it, because and this is probably a way that Joel's actions will likely escalate. Let's be honest, that will probably be a part of it. But and they already have with his actions towards a woman on the tube and the explicit kind of stuff he's watching and sending around to other pervs. So Ross is trying to understand from his eyes, and Joel is kind of he's basically spouting out the nonsense that the influencer, who I think's character name is Drake Sagan, which is clearly a bullshit grifter name as well. That's the most bullshit toxic masculinity. What's your name? Yeah, Drake. Drake Sagan. Whose fucking D&D character's this? Grow the fuck up. It's so mental. And he's just spouting what this guy says. And so Joel shows Ross some of Drake Sagan's videos. Interestingly, all of them are 2-hour videos as well. This is a brainwashing all in all, because it's just watch my 2-hour video where I basically belittle women, say they're useless and only good as eye candy, which is fucking absurd. I'm laughing at this. Obviously, it is serious material, right? It's depicting seriously troubling attitudes towards women, but it's just kind of Tommy's telling it not Tommy. Joel's saying it because he believes it as his truth. which is just the scary part of it, right? Because now Joel has shown he has he has no respect for women, probably because his mum walked out on him a long time ago. So he has no respect towards women, does believe that they are just there to kind of appease him, and he's kind of proven that he will continue to objectify and degrade and just not treat women as people. And this is where the kind of divisive bit comes in, where for like a solid like scene, you have Joel there, or you have Ross there, and you see Ross is kind of like thinking it through, like, oh, I've thought these sorts of things, but maybe it's different, because it's not even just about the issue with women. It's about speaking the truths. Usually with these situations, it's about free speech. It's about not being woke. It's about not conforming. It's about telling, like, just saying it. I'm just saying it how it is. I'm just saying it how it is. Not like I don't have a problem with any of this, but I'm just saying how it is. And it often leads to like more and more hatred and more discrimination. But it's under the lens of it's just free speech. I'm just saying it how they don't want you to say it. And so Ross, for a minute, you go, oh shit, is Ross actually gonna get, I'm gonna use the word indoctrinated, because that's what it is. Is Ross gonna get indoctrinated? Is Ross actually gonna start spouting what Joel is spouting? And, in the weirdest bit as well, is Ross and Joel are sat down drinking beers and watching Drake Zagan kind of describe how you treat women, which obviously isn't well in his eyes. So it's just insane. And like you said, there is a strict moment where you actually believe that Ross is going to start spewing the same bollocks. It's mental. Like, it was really well done, but it is wild.
So I was just Googling to see if my joke could work. But Joel technically could. He technically, if he wanted to, because I think this is true, I can't really find it, but I think it's true. He technically can be an MP for Reform UK, so go ahead, Joel. I read somewhere that like 16-year-olds are like fucking chancellors or something. Just wanted to make that joke about Reform UK because they're shit. But yeah, I get the message. What they're trying to tell is that Joel obviously believes these things. But honestly, like I've stated multiple times before, if you listen to Draco Malfoy or whatever the fuck his name is,
whoa, no, that wouldn't read none of that woke Harry Potter nonsense. It's Drake Zagan, excuse you.
Drake say, but Harry Potter wouldn't be woke though, would it? Because clearly it's written.
No, that could be based because of J.K. Rowling. Really.
Yeah, it'd be based.
Yeah, but they also wouldn't like Harry Potter because it's fantasy.
Also,
and the only reality they live in is money.
Sorry, just because I brought up Harry Potter. Did you see Mark? I should have said this after show, but I'm gonna fucking mention it. Have you seen Marks and Spencer's had to put out an apology because a woman was like, because this woman like encountered a trans woman who was an employee there, and basically gave out that she was doing her job, but she didn't like it, that she was like just like she was infringing on her or something. Where it was like she's 6'3", she's clearly a man. She's infringing on me. And Mark Spencer, we're sorry you had a bad time. It's like, what do you expect? She's doing her job. Just fucking like, and then J.K. Rowling goes, yeah, boycott Marks and Spencer. How dare they? Like,
yeah, Marks and Spencer's definitely the woke. Definitely a part of the wokes. The middle class, slightly upper class shop that's too expensive for any poor people.
Yeah, but it's just a fucking headline.
Yeah, just nonsense. Nonsense.
But back to Joel.
I will say though, most of those people couldn't even really figure out if anybody is actually a woman or a man. Slightly strong jaw, man. Slightly large shoulders, man. You got a derangement, boys. You got a derangement.
It's fucking mental how it's like, oh, you can't give birth, man. No, I'm just a woman who can't give birth. Man, no, you're misunderstanding me. I'm literally a woman who cannot give birth. Man, don't tell me you're a bloody woman. Just calm down, lads. Calm fucking down. Yeah, obviously, you know our stances. But yeah, back to Joel. Yeah, he's basically, he's basically trying to indoctrinate his dad. But it's the fucking visual, because the equivalent in real life would be like a right wing nutter, or I don't even know if they're right wing, but like a non wokey, as I would dub them, sitting down with their dad watching Mr. Taint, just having a few beers, like, Dad, watch this. This is a crucial documentary on women. Like, imagine, like, how sad
Well,
is
it's like a conspiracy theorist, right? And they're like, all right, let's sit down and let's watch the moon landing. I'm going to show you why it's fake. And it's like, yeah, great. Like, it's so, like, Joel, he doesn't know any better, right? He doesn't know any better to think that this isn't a normal thing that people do. Like, who sits their dad down and goes, look, Dad, this'll change your life. Just read my book, The Message, to help you take control of your life. What the? And like you said, the best bit is, though, they make you think that Ross is going along with it. They make you think that Ross is actually going to start spouting this bollocks. It's done really well. It's done, like, take the views. Like, the views are fucking horrendous, but they are doing a good job of it. And this is all somewhat fine. And Ross is like, he feels like he's bonded with his son. And so Joel goes to get another beer. But this is where Ross kind of stops looking and then gets an email. And it seems that, Joel is receiving. We can't, obviously, it's all implied, but it's pretty much, it's once again the same sort of, like, hyper violent, kind of likely unconsensual,
consensual, unconsensual,
like,
consensual rape porn.
yeah, it's
We can't say we can't
don't-
say the words. We just have to sub in grape, because if we use that word too many times, yeah, we want to be monetized.
we'll not be using the word grape. We'll just be talking around it.
Yes.
Well,
that's
yeah,
basically
it's essentially it is violent, kind of sadistic sort of, like, it's what, I mean, we can just take, it's what Joel would expect, considering his aggressive views towards women and what they're there for. This is what he would be watching. That's what these sorts of people who don't respect women and do view them as sex objects, that's what they would kind of get off on. And as these people kind of, I mean, even take it, as these people go further and further, at some point it gets more and more extreme because it doesn't work for them anymore. And that's kind of the path that Joel is on, where if, traditional's not really doing anything for him, he's probably going to go for something more depraved. And it's kind of a route to a pretty dark rabbit hole that Joel is going down.
Yeah, and it's horrendous. It's horrendous because we hear a woman's voice say, "Get off me," and it's implied of what is shown. It's implied because obviously pre-watershed, and it's horrendous. It is.
Even if it was post-watershed, they wouldn't show it. Like,
Yeah.
which is rightfully so. Like, you don't need to depict it.
Yeah.
You don't need to depict something so graphic. The implication is enough.
And Ross rightfully so goes, "What are you watching, son? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, ham it in, sunshine." And Joel is like, "What do you mean?"
It's just outrage, right? It's just absolute, like, because if you just hear someone spout some stuff like this, you can just think, oh, it's just like a little side thing, right? He's clearly doesn't mean it. Maybe it's just a little hobby that he has. But you see what is your son doing something like that, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck? What are you even watching? Like, this is this is, maybe you got a little interest in something. This is too far. This is way too far gone. So this kind of breaks the facade, and Ross quickly goes, he stands up, just like, Joel, what is this? And then Joel kind of explains it away, but like, oh, I don't even send out half the stuff I get sent. And this is like, what? And and then Ross basically makes a decision, right, you're not getting this fucking laptop anymore. I'm banning you from being able to access the internet. I'm not going to allow this. And then Joel, because of what he's been told, essentially, goes, fight me. Fight me. And then the second Ross stands up, it's like, obviously, Ross is a full-grown adult and he's a builder. He's a large man. So Joel goes, fight me. And then Ross just stands up and then immediately says, oh, it's fucking I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, just immediately crying like a little bitch. And then this bit I both understand, but I also think it's a bit wild. He then just dumps the laptop in water, which is a good message to send, sure. But also, that's expensive. Like, you're already struggling for money. Like, fucking... That bit's a little bit wild, but I get the idea is to just, if I cut this off, hopefully this will stop it. But I mean, at the end of the day, Joel will not stop until he's, as proven, he will continue to keep doing these things until he actually faces, because he's being shielded from the consequences of it. But he's being sandwiched from the blow, where he should actually just have, when he did grope that woman on the train and it got reported, he should have just been sent to prison, or he should have just had some consequences for his actions. But instead, now he just gets his laptop thrown out.
But why didn't Ross do what my dad did when I pissed him off once? Right, so story time with Piggy again. Once I angered my dad, right? And now my dad's not a violent man. He would never hit me. He would never do that. That was my mother's job. Just to get that joke in there. But he would never get physical. So I remember one day I pissed him off so badly, right? So he grabs a hammer from outside, right? He brings me upstairs and he goes, repeat that, son? He puts the hammer on the Xbox going, repeat that? I go, what? Repeat what you said? And I went, no, I'm not going to do it. And if you repeat yourself, I will smash this fucking Xbox. And that taught me a lesson, never to piss him off. Like, because that teaches you when you're younger, like, oh, he's putting a hand up my...
mean, probably not the, some parents probably be a little like, what? But, you need to show that there are consequences to your actions, because, some people and let's be honest, Joel he's not had the most traditional upbringing. His mum left, so he has been raised by his dad. So he's probably, and his dad's probably working a lot. So that's probably what's led him to kind of live in his fantasy world online. Like, he's probably not at the most, he has been very sheltered though. Joel has done these things. They've had to pay off 2 people so far. They've had to pay off 2 people that Joel has sexually harassed. So far, all Joel knows is that if he does it again, he'll probably get away with it, because he thinks that Vicky is a soft touch. He thinks that Ross is a soft touch, and that in the end he'll get what he wants. So this is supposed to show the big consequence for his actions, and it is a step. Ultimately, he doesn't take his phone away, which, a phone and a laptop are like, they're pretty much related. You can still access emails on your phone. You can still access pretty much everything you can do on a phone. You can do on a laptop. So that doesn't entirely stem that problem. But he kind of has the angle that, look, I'm locking you out of this. If you don't have access to it, you won't do it. And the funniest bit, though, is when Vicky's kind of like, you need to sort him out. It's Ross is like, Vicky's like, why is the fucking laptop been put in water? And then they lie about it. And then Ross essentially says, it was me. I dumped it because I'd seen the stuff he'd been watching, and actually kind of talks to her about it. And then Vicky's like, why don't you just like ban it? And he just goes, I didn't know how. Because he's clearly not like a technology guy. Like, that bit was the funny bit to me. So I didn't know how to do it. He just didn't know how to turn child lock on, which isn't too hard to do, first and foremost. Second, it then kind of continues though, as Joel kind of cottons an apology to Kat, and he shitly does one. He clearly doesn't mean it either. Like, he clearly doesn't mean his apology. And him and Tommy hang out again. Tommy kind of mentions, I suppose, obviously the thing that kind of spelled this out was obviously Joel telling Ross telling Joel that his mom is now marrying someone else. And this leads to him and Tommy kind of talking. And Tommy kind of asks him through it. Joel kind of mentions how, his mum left and doesn't really like it, but he doesn't really like to think about it. And in the end, they go to get some drinks. But this is as, Stacy and Kat and Vicky, they're kind of like lapping it up, talking about men and talking about men who have kind of done them in. Tommy mentions Theo and what he did to Stacy, and obviously Tommy, understanding right from wrong, goes, yeah, it was disgusting what he did. He thought he owned her just because he gave her money on secret cam. And then Joel kind of goes, getting some ammunition that he's gonna then throw at Stacy. And then they get some drinks, and Tommy and Joel kind of hypes up again, essentially. I don't remember the exact line, but it's essentially, it's him telling his truths again. It's him be like, oh, well, basically not condemning the abuse, but kind of victim blaming people like having abuse or like thrown at them. Oh, you're frozen? Not back. Yeah, sound. So, and it ramps up with a big confrontation where Joel obviously yells at Vicky and yells at Stacy, and he mentions that ice skater, whatever Stacy's secret cam name was, and throws it in her face. And Stacy's like, "Hey, I'm not, I did do it. I'm not ashamed of it. I did what I needed to. Not afraid of my curves, not afraid of my stretch marks. Just how it is." And then I think Tommy, why are all the names smashing together? Joel then calls Stacy a sket, and then kind of explains that it's someone who gets pregnant as a teenager. And he then says, and also to show how out of touch Joel is, he uses the fucking picture in the dictionary framing for an insult. So, and if you look it up in the dictionary, your daughter would be there. Gets slapped by Stacy, and then Joel once again kind of goes, has to take him out. While Ross is having a conversation with Harvey, because obviously Harvey's had a pretty similar experience where Harvey's son, what the fuck was his name? Aaron? Harvey's son Aaron was pretty much indoctrinated by the alt-right to be, anti-Muslim. But, it was kind of far-right adjacent. He was very angry about, people just, angry about that. A different form of indoctrination, a different form of radicalization. And Harvey essentially gives him the advice, look, I've been through it. My son's in prison for it. My son's in prison. So the best thing you can do is, at the end of the day, you have to, even if you don't trust them, even if you don't believe in them, essentially you have to keep them close, and you have to have them have trust in you. So this kind of reasserts this idea in Joel, in Ross's head, that I need to be on his side because nobody else will. I think it's the idea of, it's better the devil you know. At least if he does more, Joel will Ross will know what Joel is doing. But in the same way, he proceeds to buy him another laptop. And what does Joel do immediately when he gets his laptop? He goes on Stacy's secret cam, and I assume he's gonna pay for it, and then he's probably gonna plaster all the pictures around just like Theo did at some point. Like, it's just the simple matter of fact that once again, Joel is kind of skirted away from consequences, and now he's once again being enabled to keep doing the awful shit that he's doing.
Yeah. Right, hold on, just 3 seconds. Having a little snoozy picking me nose there in the fucking chair while you were talking. Fighting else.
Yeah, I'd seen all of it, mate.
I know.
I had to see it all.
I know.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you did.
Yeah, I'm a pig. I know it. But why didn't Stacey just delete her secret cam's like profile? Wouldn't that solve it?
Yeah, I was gonna that's the weird bit. So in law, is she still doing it?
Yeah.
Like, because I would have expected that after the Theo stuff, she just went, yeah, fuck this shit, not doing this again. This was a terrible idea. But now is she still doing it, or is she not delete the profile? It doesn't matter. But it's just kind of like, is this is still a thing? That's the weird bit.
Yeah, and also, how does he get into the way? I know he's probably going to use his dad's identity, but
Age verification.
I mean, oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Why hasn't like surely Joel would get?
Well, if he's getting emailed the footage, he's clearly gotten a way around it. Like, you know what I mean?
I know this was made before the fucking Online Safety Act, okay? But like, come on, but like, how can he even get in? That's mental. I did see when I logged into Discord via my.
He's clearly got a contract with our new sponsor, Nord.
When I
wish.
When I was using my VPN, NordVPN by the way, to go into England to just watch the EastEnders, I went into a channel, but I went, please verify your age by showing ID. Turned off the VPN. I'm in, boys. That was good. It was an adult-only channel.
Honestly, the best joke about that is the is the Tom Scott one, where Tom Scott's the YouTuber who like goes to all the different places, and most of his videos just start off with, "I'm in the Maldives. I'm in Kent. I'm in the great island of I don't know." Like, that's the joke of everybody on the VPNs. I'm in Mount Fuji.
I'm in Russia.
It's such a good meme that came from that. I'll say that much. That's just fucking top notch.
One of my favorite facts from one of my favorite things I've read / heard from recent times is, have you heard the story of the North Korean soldiers when they went over to Russia? Nothing bad happens, by the way, right? So obviously North Korea is very heavy censorship. Like, they don't really show porn. Yeah. They don't show porn. Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I really hope.
And I mean, a bunch of that part of the world is, very, very controlled. It's very, what's the polite word I'm using? Very, very repressed.
Yes. So the North Korean soldiers obviously were sent over to Russia because of the Ukraine war. But apparently they went on the Wi-Fi in Ukraine or Russia and got addicted to porn. It's fucking buckled me. Just about, because they were sitting there to fight, but they're just there fucking tugging it. Like, go on, lads, I believe in you. It's so stupid, but I find it so funny. Yeah. These soldiers are great for the war. Oh shit. But yeah, it's just seeing, like, I should go on to the awards now, which is our final thoughts of the week as well. But
I suppose just the final like bow on the end of this, though. Once again, I think it's an important storyline to tell. And I mean, kind of as of late, I've been watching so much of like true crime stuff, and a lot of this stuff does kind of come into people who are kind of characterized as, like, I'll use the term sexual sadists, where they derive pleasure from pain. And this is kind of where it starts, in a sense, right? Where Joel is showing some. He's not an incel, He's not an incel, but he's kind of showing a lot of the kind of incel mentality, and it's it's not the easiest things to watch, as a lot of these issues kind of tend to be. But I will once again reiterate that I think it's bold to do a story like this, and I am enjoying kind of the content of it. I'm enjoying where it's going. Obviously, it's been pretty hard to watch all in all, but I think it's a very important story to tell, especially at this point in time. And I think they are actually doing a really good job of it. I think even within Joel being very despicable as a character, I think the actor's getting a lot of plaudits for his portrayal of this, because he is a very talented actor, and he's rightfully getting a lot of credit for this portrayal or portrayal. And yeah, I think they're doing a good job of it. It's a good kind of opening storyline for the character. Who knows where exactly it goes, and it probably will get way worse before it gets better. But I still think it's an interesting story to tell with the current social climate.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it as well. I enjoyed the week. I didn't really enjoy Ross, Paul's dad. He was a bit of a nuisance. Obviously,
He just doesn't really know how to do it.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't know either.
I mean, someone characterized Ross and Joel kind of. Obviously, it's not. It kind of is a comparison, but it's not in the same way. Kind of comparing how Ross is treating Joel as to Dot would treat Nick. Because it's like, that they're doing bad things, and that they need to stop. But also, as a parent, you will probably do everything to protect them. And as much as they may be doing bad things, you'd rather they do bad things under your eye than do horrific than do it in prison or something.
Yeah, or I compare it to Dirty Dan, where he is Dirty Dan, modern equivalent. So yeah, I also enjoyed Oscar Branning being framed for attacking Patrick. That was not on. Whoever framed him will pay for this day. But it was nice to see. Cindy and Elaine was pretty good as well. And this is also in the award section as well, because that's what I've dubbed it in. I just enjoyed the week. I think it was decent. Some stuff I didn't really like, but you get that with most things anyway. So
it wasn't a great week. I did enjoy it, but it was interesting enough.
Yeah, it was an interesting week. Now it's time for the awards. We have 4 awards. We have the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence, Who Needs Fapping Down, the Chris Crenshaw Award, and Underrated. Where do you want to start?
Hard to tell. I've also annoyingly just mid this seen some vaguely interesting news.
For what? What show?
But just for EastEnders, this just gonna live half the presses. We'll probably do a video on it. But interesting to note, why is Stuart returning? Well, because Stuart and Callum's dad, Jono, seemingly died.
Oh.
And this is where Ben will make his appearance. And yeah, that's an interesting little twist. I don't think there's enough to report on it yet, but it's actually quite interesting. I think that's a cool way to do it. Jono never needs to return either, and Via Highway better fucking not be there. But yeah, that's interesting. I like it. I like this. I like this twist.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
No.
Also, be Ben's return, and looking at Ben, he's got those Phil Bowl jeans. He asked, good lord, it's going.
Well, it's just on the EastEnders official page.
No, I've seen on Twitter. I'll send you a picture on through. If you want to flash up on the screen, you can. Also, apparently everybody's just really tall because Ben looks absolutely fucking tiny. He looks so small in comparison to everybody else. It's unreal.
Hold on, I flash it up. Hold on.
He looks so small in comparison.
Sorry, bear with me with this, guys. Do 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 do. I nearly have it. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, there you go. There's the image now up on screen with the two of us, live reactions. Ben is in handcuffs. Ben,
Just look at how small Ben looks in comparison to everybody else.
There's no way that's a permanent return because he's in handcuffs.
Oh no, like it was teased with Ben. The Ben returns it's a short term little stint. Obviously now we know for the funeral, and then the doors open to bring him back.
And then there's Johnny, there's Callum, and there's Stuart. Now there is some people missing. I will admit, Rainy's missing, and Vi Highway's missing.
Well,
I still think Vi Highway should be brought in and Rainy. Get rid of Ben, and then we'll all be good. Johnny and Callum forever, please. I need Callum or Connie. I don't know. Yeah, fucking Ben looks like he's balding.
I mean he is, but yeah, it looks like he's lived every single day of prison 10 times. He's fucking. It's the sad way. But obviously, you couldn't cast Ben Mitchell's son as someone who isn't gonna be bald in 10 years. It's just the sad thing, the sad loss of hair, male pattern baldness. Hopefully, it's not claiming me. My hairline stayed normal. I'm safe. I've got older brothers. No hair's leaving my head, fortunately. But yeah, he looks fucking rough. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Now back to the awards. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. Chris Crenshaw.
Okay, you go first. So I'm going back to.
It's got to be the Joel stuff. Like you said, it's a very kind of wild time to to introduce a whole new family, with its main goal is to kind of build up this Joel story and kind of deal with the toxic masculinity type thing. And I think it's going to be a good breakout story for Joel and Ross and even Vicky. And I prefer talking about this than I prefer talking about the Suki and Avani thing. So this one's a lot more. This one's kind of more interesting. It feels like there's a lot more angles. There is no necessarily there is kind of a right answer in this, and it's just the fact that Joel is doing horrific things and having horrific beliefs about women, and that is wrong. So I've really enjoyed it though. It's been really good, and I want to see more, and I want to see where it goes.
And obviously, I'm giving mine. I'm giving mine to Howie.
Into the microphone a bit more.
I'm giving mine to Howie. So yeah, Howie framing Oscar Branning for attacking Patrick's not on. It's not on. I'm not happy with that. I need that to be done. I can't wait to see how this furthers. If Howie becomes a bit of a villain, I'd love to see him as a bit of a villain. He already is villain by waking up Big Jim upstairs. So yeah. The next award. Do you want to do Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence?
Most wooden. The slap Stacey gave Joel was pretty fierce.
I'm getting into the people that still pay for her secret cams profile.
Fucking losers. You
only buy porn when the leaks don't come true. Don't you guys know the number one rule of that? Come on. What? But continuing on. Yes, I'm giving it to that. Next up, we have the underrated award.
I'm just gonna give it to Oscar's scene when he's cradling baby Jimmy, telling him to not be him. I think that was a really cool one. It's kind of something that we would have probably seen Max do if he actually had any more self-awareness. But I just love Oscar. Oscar's just a really good, like, if he doesn't win best newcomer, that will be an absolute shame.
Who am I going to give to the most underrated? I'm gonna give it to like. I'm giving it to the scene where Ross doesn't know how to parent Joel. So he just puts the laptop in water. So yeah. There you go. And the last award, who needs slapping down? Joel.
Joel.
There we go. That's the awards. There's the awards. Now it's time to take it to the after show. Do you want to go first, or do you have anything to say on the after show?
You can go first.
You can go first.
Well, it's just usually I go first and talk for 10 minutes, and then you get bored of listening to me, and then you just go, "Yeah, I've not done anything really. I've just done nothing all week," and then the podcast ends. So you're going first. Talk about yourself.
I smell shaving foam. I don't know why. My dad's after having a shave. Nothing much. I've just been writing the script for Christmases. Really is what I've been doing. Because we've started it. We're currently at 05. We have 7 more to do, and then that would be nice. Then I just have to edit them all down, which I will do. I've lost my editing for editing them down because I started 02, then I got copyrighted, so I'm just going back to schedule. But I will get it done. Definitely before December.
Yeah, I mean, it's why we started so early.
Yeah, and I pretty. Oh fucking hell! That is a strong smell, and I've pretty much enjoyed. Like just writing the notes, doing all of that, just continuing to move the channel forward. Obviously, I don't get to do the ranking of them. That's Ash's job. I just do the tier list for them, and that's very good. I will clarify, just in case people are wondering. 2024 is not included in the 2002 to 2012. 2024 and subsequently 2005 or 2025 next year will not count for the 1985 2001 one because we don't want to like include 2 modern ones. We're going to include the time periods that we stayed with, but they will be included in the long list. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's what I love doing. I bloody cried my heart out, like writing the synopsis for 02 Christmas. That was good. What is the song? Hold on, because there's what was the song that I was listening to?
Goodbye, my lover.
Yeah, right. I need to mention this scene because it's fucking fantastic, right? So we watched Christmas 05, right? Which in hindsight, like I can mention the Christmases because we watched them. Like,
yeah,
people are not really like going to be seeing the videos for most at least until December. But we watched Christmas 05, and now I need to say, if you ever go back and watch any Christmases like 03 and 05, that mainly focus on Cat and Alfie, please watch it in the time frame that this happened. Like, I'm not saying like just flip out your Nokia flip phone and then like do that. I'm saying just take it as this time period, as if you know what happens in 2018, it gets muggy. But 2005, right? It's I really wanted to punch Alfie, but yeah, there's a scene where Alfie leaves Cat, and Cat like breaks down crying because Alfie's after leaving her because she thinks Alfie's gone on to the next chapter and left the woman of his dreams behind. So we cut to the Vic where Cat's been horny with men dancing to music. She goes to the bathroom, and then Goodbye My Lover starts playing as she's just wiping the makeup away, and I'm sat there going, fuck me, Jesus. I'm just devastated with that. I'm just sat there crying, like, God, no. And then obviously Alfie whisks her away in the end, and yeah, it's a happy ending. But yeah, that was what made me sad. Just that song. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. The only other thing that I really wanted to know was watching these Christmas makes me really enjoy the 2000s period, even though I'm only seeing the Christmases and not much else. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Just want to speak on that.
Yeah, it is a fun window into it. Obviously, it's been me messing up my ankle, and to be fair, this week for me has been a bit of a what am I trying to been a bit of a weird one. So the scripted video that's going to come out this month at the end of the month is done. So that's all sorted. But going from editing the evil EastEnders video, which I did a lot of fucking effort on, and then proceeding to rapidly spin into doing the iceberg, which is also done. This week, I just went, I'm fucking tired. So, because I wanted to kind of keep the momentum going, because I know what happened the first time I got the scripted video done at Christmas, where I went, oh, hey, it's done. All right, now time to chill. And then I just didn't do another scripted video for like 10 months. But I was like, all right, I need to do another one. But as I've approached the next one, and it's a little bit more of an abstract idea, immediately my brain went, I'm too tired for this shit. So this week's just kind of been about trying to chill a little bit more. I've done some good stuff, and as I said, I suppose I can talk about the idea, because no one. I mean, I'm going to say it's on an EastEnders podcast. The next idea that I'm aiming to do, although who knows if I actually do it, I'm going to probably start what should be a series called Was It Worth It? Where you kind of take some fairly hotly contested ideas in soap that would be like, it's still a divisive decision. It's still a divisive thing that they made. So the examples are like Pat Butcher's death, Ronnie and Roxy, Fat Boy killing off Cindy, the Sixth, all these sorts of ideas you could take to this concept where you just essentially outline what it was, what was the build up to it, the actual event, and then afterwards you kind of run through all the reasonings and go to a conclusion. And at the end, you do decide, was it actually worth it? And I think it's a cool concept. But the first thing I'm going to try apply it to is to the Hollyoaks 2024 time jump, which was essentially Hollyoaks had just changed executive producer from Lucy Allen to Hannah Cheers in the previous year. She'd finally started to get Hollyoaks back on track. She'd had to finish out all the storylines that the previous producer had set. And then she does When Worlds Collide, which was a really big like stunt week and probably one of the best stunt weeks they've done. I really enjoyed it. I reacted to it on the channel. And then about a month later, Channel 4 goes, hey, guess what, guys? You're getting cut a lot. A lot of your shows getting axed. You have to get rid of like 100, you have to get rid of like 100 members of like cast and crew. And so the only way they could really justify doing this is they were going to have a big time jump in September. And they would then, 1 week, it would be the year before, and the week after, it would be the year after. So therefore, you then the next week and the next couple of weeks afterwards, you're suddenly a year ahead, and it's all about figuring out what happened in the time that it was gone. But but kind of in the same way, a lot of actors who were there and a lot of the actors who you thought, oh, sick, they made it past the time jump, a lot of them even beyond that point were still even killed off, and it still had to undergo a shit ton of changes. So it's just going to be a kind of opinion piece, half like kind of documentary, trying to understand, trying to grasp whether the time jump was worth it. Obviously, with the caveat that they didn't have a choice. Like it wasn't a choice they made that they wanted to do. It was a choice they made because they had to do. But still an interesting thing. But it is also hard to tackle because I was trying to like write it and I'm like, I need to summarize why the previous years under Lucy Allen were bad. But also I don't fucking remember everything they did from 2020 to like 2024, like, or 2023. Like it's quite hard to summarize things, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
But I didn't work. I did bits on it. I started it. I got the idea planned, but just about piecing it together. As we'll kind of constantly reflect, I'm pretty good at like rewriting a script and like kind of developing it, but actually getting through like the meat and potatoes, I'm a bit shit at actually just working on it. So yeah, it's probably my worst bit about the script writing, and that's why Piggy does most of the fucking grunt work and just kind of pieces all the information that's necessary, and then I come in at the end like, all right, here's what's going in.
I need to do any more scripting I can, if you want me to.
It's just a bit of a weird opinion. It would take a lot more for you to actually start to like, all right, now I need to learn Hollyoaks. Like, nah, I'll do it. I'll get through it. I just need to, and that's why I spent this week just kind of chilling and trying to not just trying to chill. I did two things. I did one thing I never do. I read a book. Whoa, it's crazy. Yeah, I know most people think I can't read. I did indeed read a book. I read Perks of Being a Wallflower, which was a pretty good. It was a pretty good book, honestly. It was obviously it was a book that was adapted to a movie. The movie had obviously the actors' names. It had Emma Watson. It had Logan Lerman. Did have Ezra Miller, which hasn't aged too well because they have problems. But it's a very good book, kind of depicting the isolation of like a teenager going into like the later years of school, and his friend like ended his life, and now he's kind of got to approach being an already lonely kind of kid who has a history of problems, who then proceeded to slowly acclimate to school, even though if he's kind of all built around his kind of anxiety. And then through the book, you kind of realize that there is actually like some deeply unsettling trauma that's laced throughout. And that's probably why. But in the time, he does begin to become more a part of it and actually engage. Just really good book. Never really that great at reading. I would always try too hard to read well because I would read and I'll be like, I don't remember anything I just read. Fuck. I need to go back and reread this now. And then it just wouldn't go in. But I had no trouble with rereading it. But it was cool. My sister bought me a copy of it. It was a very good book. It did help that I had the already like the prerequisite of investment. I love the movie. I love the idea of it. So the book should be easy to read. And it was. I read it in like a couple of days. I even put some fucking fairy lights over there so I can read in bed. And yeah, it was good fun. I'm gonna try read more. Reading is actually quite fun. Unsurprisingly, who knew? Who knew? And the next book I have is a book called Never Let Me Go. Got it in fucking paperback. It feels in my brain. It feels wrong to just read off like a tablet. Not that there's anything to say that people do that are wrong, because all personal preference. But there's something fun and novel about actually reading from the book. I haven't actually started yet. It did get her a couple of days ago. Haven't started it. Who knows if I will read it? But
Well,
it's just about seeing whether it's something I continue to do. But it was good fun. It was good fun.
well, speaking of books, what book did you read in school, like for English, if you had to?
Well, we did Lord of the Flies.
Fuck, I did To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I mean, to kill a Mockingbird's one of the books Charlie reads in the book. So I do like Lord of the Flies. Probably would reread
actually,
it.
never mind. I'll tell you off camera.
Don't do that. I see where this is going. Obviously, Charlie being the name of the main character in Perks being a wallflower.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I read Lord of the Flies in school. It was it was at the time where I didn't really get reading, and I viewed it more of a chore rather than an actual experience. But hey, it's good fun. Kind of toys around with the psychological aspect of once you lose the core rules of society, people do just kind of go a bit fucking mental. Especially Roger. Fucking Roger, the man. He was doing some depraved shit in Lord of the Flies. Like, good lord. Good lord.
Of Mice and Men was the other book I read in school.
With Lenny.
Lenny, yeah. Which has a great song about it. I don't know which band does it, but they have a great song about it. It's just gonna be book club. We might as well just talk about books. Why not?
Won't have much material for it, can't lie.
I did read a lot of Mr. Men books. I have some in the
Nice.
back. I have some behind me if you want me to read them. But yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, I read a decent bit.
I read To Kill a Mockingbird. I love To Kill a Mockingbird. The sequel, but it's not really a sequel. The original draft of To Kill a Mockingbird, which was released after the author died. I forget what the main character's called, but he's a racist in the sequel. So yeah, because the original draft is going to have the dad be racist and the woman of the book just be, you know, the voice of reason. But yeah, um, also I also wanted to read like fucking Stephen King's the fucking one where I'm Tired Boss, that movie, The Green Mile.
Oh yeah.
That's a good movie. I don't want to read it because it is like 1,000 pages and it has a child
Yeah,
orgy
and
in it.
they have some questionable, maybe not metaphors, some questionable scenes in the book.
Which never,
Something about becoming adults in the sewers
yeah,
with a group of men and one girl.
which thankfully did not happen in the movies. So
Didn't happen in the movie. Fortunately, we didn't really just kind of glossed over that part, which is the right choice.
it must have been
But
on sub cocaine to write that.
Stephen King is but yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where it's something that I don't know. I feel like reading for most people, and I say this as someone who isn't a reader. I've read one book in the last like fucking 5 years, but like, it's something that you kind of view as a chore if you don't actually find the joy in it. Because if you're just told you need to read this book for school, you're like, fuck off. I'm like, you need to read 10 pages of this thing for your reading journal. And it is supposed to incentivize it, but if you don't actually enjoy it, you're just going to view it as a chore. And therefore, you're just not going to actually you're just not going to you're just not going to give a shit, are you? Like, oh, what? I need to read now. Oh, that boring thing I need to do for school. Fuck that. But if you actually choose what you read, it's good fun. I say that. Will I read the book that my sister recommended to me? But who knows? Maybe. But
I
it's just about seeing whether I still have that interest that I didn't have, that I won't have for this new book. But yeah.
I do like books. The books are like good to have, like they give you great knowledge and stuff. I don't know why that's a political Keir Starmer response, but it is. Books.
I do like books. They're good for knowledge and that.
Look,
What happened to the bus? Broke down. Elaborate on that. Stopped working.
just gonna do a Keir Starmer quote where it's like, I will recognise books as books once they get rid of the tablets. Bitch. I'm not gonna reference why he said that about in real life. Because I don't want to. But yeah, I love reading the Life is Strange comics. They were my favourite. Even though I've mentioned it before, but the fucking game ruins it. Like so Life is Strange 1 ends where you can make a choice whether to save your girlfriend. Basically, they've canonized that she is your girlfriend, or you sacrifice an entire town, and basically
yeah, it's I don't remember what the actual like psychological term is, but it's the essential thing of, do you save the one person who matters to you, or or a whole lot more people who you may not know. But it's just kind of the moral debate of, do you save more people because a lot of them are going to live like long and happy lives. Do you save the one person you know? Obviously, I'm saving the one person. Fuck them.
yeah,
I don't know the other people. Get fucked.
and
You should have known me, dickhead.
And obviously it's 50-50, like whether you save the garden or you save the town. But they obviously did a sequel comic to it because Life is Strange 2 was more about Trump's America. I can mention his name because it is basically what it was about. It was about Trump's America dealing with the aliens, the illegals, because the dad gets killed and then they think the family did it, some weird shit like that. And then so they made the comics, which the comics follow great. They do great, but they're not canon to the universe, which pisses me off because they should be.
Yeah, I don't like them releasing extra shit that's not canon. Like, just Just no balls, do it. Just
Like
fucking do it.
I'm just saying, canonize it to the other universe, because what happens is when the game came out, Double Exposure, which is the one with Max, the original character from the first game, returns. Basically, went, yeah, we were unhappy throughout that relationship. Yeah, we were just unhappy in those years. I've read the fucking comics. You were happy. What the fuck? The fuck? You've just fucking ruined like 10, 20
Just
issues.
shit on all of the development that you've had.
Yeah, and like, and
wasn't the reason anyways that the voice actress, that one of the voice actress didn't want to go back,
I believe
so they just kind of shit canned the character.
I believe Ashley Birch, who voiced Chloe in the original game, which is the second main character, she's the blue-haired lesbian.
Yeah.
She basically, I believe at the time, they were doing...
There's a big, like, voice acting strike.
Yeah, and they were like, we need you back, and she went, no. But she also fell out with them at some point during, like, before the storm was met. And basically they went, well, you're not coming back, fuck you, we don't like Chloe, fuck you. Hope you die in a ditch, bitch, bye. Hypothetically speaking. And
in
they
a video
just...
game,
and what they did was, right, so obviously people found files, right, of like what was going to be released, and obviously in the files was Chloe's, like they see, obviously you couldn't access the files at the time, but they seen like, oh, Chloe's voice is in this. What they did was, and I find this so petty, and it is something the BBC would do to an actor, is they basically brought in the person who voiced Chloe in Before the Storm, brought them in to record like 3 or 4 lines about, like, from the first game, re-record them, and just went, yeah, we're not going to bring them back in the end anyways, fuck them. Like, it's just like, you brought them in to voice these 4 lines and then you fucked it. But yeah, I loved reading the Life is Strange comics. Oh, they were great. I need to read more of them, but fuck it, I love it. The soundtrack is great as well. It has, what the fuck's that band? Hold on. What the fuck is that band called? It's the one you and your friend always talk about.
What, Alt J?
Alt J, yeah. What I mean, but
Yeah, that's not the most coherent band, but have some bangers, have some indie bangers.
they do have some.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, I played a Pokemon game. That's what I did this week. I've been playing because I like the Pokemon series of games. I've never really cared for the anime as such. You know, it's kind of too much filler for my liking. But I do like the games. It's fun to raise your own team, and you get a whole party of the, and you knock out a bunch of animals. Oh, it's great fun. It's great fun. And I'm playing one called Pokemon Decay, where its whole premise is that because all the different games are typically, there's generations, right? You have different generations set in different areas, like GTA. You have different maps that they're based in, like Vice City's in fucking Vice City, Falls in Liberty City. You have the different areas, different Pokemon, different environments, right? But this one is actually suggesting that the first 4 regions have all like merged together. So like it's basically the whole concept of how the fucking world happened, where you had Pangea, something like that. Where obviously that was all of it merged together, but with all the plates moving, all disappeared or not disappeared, all moved apart, and that's how a very ill-informed way of how like all the places on the map are where they are. And it's all merged together. You get a decent mix of different types. It's just a good fun. And it kind of, my brother came to me in a way and just went like, "Way, look at this game." As I find a different one that I was gonna play. He goes, "Look at this," and we've been no life in it for the last like 4 days. It's been great. It's been good fun. Yeah, like I said, still a bit knackered. Unfortunately, it's not entirely done its job to kind of revitalize me, but it's been a good fun way to waste some time and just stick about, really.
Yeah, and I've been well, I say addicted. I've only played like about 3 hours of it, but still, basically on Fortnite you can play all these tycoon games, and my friend Flora found a tycoon game that was up my alley, because I might be autistic, and everyone who's autistic has their autism that they like. Like Francis Bourgeois likes trains. Most people like dinosaurs.
The old special interest.
Yeah, the old special interest. Mine is Bob Ross. And they found a Bob Ross tycoon. And literally, all you do is you just hit a box and you make money, and then you can maybe get golden afros. And it's beautiful. This Bob Ross is there. And then every couple of seconds he might say, just beat the devil out of it. I felt so happy. I've never felt so happy in my life just playing that game. Just collecting all the money. You have cash spawners that spawn in, like 100k you can get, and then you beat the box again, and then you beat the devil out of it. Then you earn more money, then you can build your house, and then you build your house. You can spawn Bob Ross in. He's not an official character in the game, but he just stands there and he tells you to beat the devil out of it. It is fan-fucking-tastic. You can buy a Jeep, and you can drive the Jeep around to see your other friends in the tycoon. If you have friends, if you don't have friends, then fuck you. And it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful game that I love, okay? Beautiful. I recommend it. 5 out of 5. Would you play Bob Ross Tycoon?
You have given it a glowing recommendation.
He's got to download Fortnite now and fucking play it.
Fuck downloading Fortnite.
But yeah,
you did make it sound really fun.
But yeah, you basically also spawn with an afro on your head, even if you're a different character. So like, if I'm Pedro Pascal in Fantastic Four, from the Fantastic Four, and I want a foreskin, I have the Fantastic Foreskin on.
Jesus.
I can grow an afro on my head. I have an afro on my head. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just a beautiful game. Just recommend it. I think all wars would stop. I think everything would stop if we just got a bunch of politicians in the room playing Bob Ross Tycoon. I think that would be good. I don't really have much else to add. I'm updating Fortnite now in a minute. Play it later on. It's the bug. It's the bug season. The bugs are taking over. The Power Rangers are the skins that are in the Battle Pass this season. Go Power Rangers. No white Power Ranger, only green, yellow, and pink, and red. So yeah, were you a Power Rangers fan? I wasn't.
No, I was never a big fan. No.
Power Rangers used to be on RTE too, but like, I'm like 8 or 9. I'm just watching these people fight people, and I'm like, it's decent, I guess. Yeah, but I still got to finish King of the Hill. I've only on episode 6 of the first season. I've always wanted to watch it, but I feel weird watching it because I don't know, in my brain I'm just like, I don't know. I've also, I guess I'll just briefly talk about it. I've also watched some of like Donkey Kong Bonanza. It looks like a fun game. It? Well, the game looks fun. I haven't played it, but I watched the playthrough. And you can smash through walls. You can round pound. You can like punch your way down through the earth, and you get special power ups. So one time Donkey Kong can turn into a zebra, or he can turn into it's not a flamingo, into like I think it's a flamingo, I don't know. Or a goose or a duck, it's one of the 3. And then the other one he can turn into like a gorilla, I believe. Or an elephant it is. And yeah, it's just that. Also watched Jacksepticeye play Supermarket Simulator, which is making me debate and buy Supermarket Simulator. And seeing if there's any mods for it, so I can just add it. And also a game that I did play previously called Peak has added cannibalism to it, so that's good. But like the funny thing is, you see your friend as a turkey when you eat him, so that's good. They don't actually show it, so yeah. And that's pretty much my thing. I was trying to go for another 5 minutes so I can make it a 2-hour podcast, but I don't think I can.
Yes, no need to stretch it. We've had a good segment, a good podcast.
Yeah, I'll do the outro in a second. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna timestamp it. 54.
Oh,
fucking hell! That fat fingered. Okay, this is the outro. It's a few seconds behind, but who cares? This is the outro. If you enjoyed this podcast, you want to see more, we are watching Walford. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.